Hey everybody, my name is Ed Watkins, and today I'm going to be giving an overview of the quests in 2018's God of War. We'll talk about the different types of quests, walk through a few of my favorite quests, and finally discuss how these adventures give a little extra context to the game's world as a whole. The quests in God of War offer a lot of different objectives. The labors keep track of player actions and accomplishments throughout the entire game. Most of these involve killing an enemy or performing an action a set number of times with a bit of experience points as a reward for each benchmark. Lost artifacts are scattered across various parts of the realms and once gathered can be sold for currency. Treasure maps, once found, will give the player an image of a location in the world where rare crafting materials, currency, and enchantments are waiting slightly buried underground. Lastly, we have the more narrative-based quests called favors. These quests will be the main focus of our breakdown today. Favors are typically started by talking to an NPC like Brok or Sindri, or by something that Atreus notices in the world that makes him want to help in some kind of way. During my time with the game, I was able to experience a lot of very intimate moments between Kratos and Atreus that the main story didn't really have time to expand upon. Before we start, I'd like to give honorable mentions to the Valkyrie quests and the challenges in the optional realms of Muspelheim and Niflheim. While these quest lines are challenging in unique ways, in the end they felt like merely a means to get in-game top rarity armor and enchantments. This isn't to say that any of those quests aren't fun, they just didn't have the narrative impact that some of the other favors had. That said, here are 3 quest lines that stuck out to me a bit above the rest. The first quest is called Hammerfall. A spirit tasks Kratos and Atreus to destroy the Thor statue that stands over his father's grave. The objective is simple and it doesn't require you to travel very far, however, that really isn't the point. The quest allows us to take a small dive into the character of Thor, someone who is mentioned quite often throughout the game, although never seen in the flesh. Through an unfortunate series of events, the spirit began to hate Thor and wish for nothing but his downfall.
Why do you hate Thor so much?
After my father passed, my mother built the statue to watch over his grave. Imagine our surprise when the god of thunder himself came to offer condolences. At first we were thrilled, but he quickly took advantage of our hospitality. My mother begged him to leave, and Thor, in his drunken rage, killed her. I was left with nothing but grief. Eventually I lost that as well, and found only rage in its place.
It's scenes like this that help us understand why characters like Freya and Mimir hate the Aesirs. Additionally, it also helps Kratos justify his distrust of the gods to Atreus, which is a common topic in their many discussions throughout the rest of the game.
Father, why did the gods cause so much trouble for us?
Because that is their nature.
But with all that power, you would think at least some of them would try to make life better for people.
And yet, the gods continue to spread misery. This is life, boy.
Next up, we have the Anatomy of Hope quest. This time, a spirit wants us to find the bones of his dead lover who practiced magic. When asked about a reward, he promises that once revived, his wife will bring back someone from the dead. Again, the objective is a simple one where you go from point to point beating enemies and collecting each set of bones. The nuance here is that after each set of bones is recovered, Atreus begins to slowly buy into being reunited with his mother.
Trusting the spirit to keep its word is foolish, boy.
But if there's even a chance, don't you want to see Mom again?
Of course She is gone, Atreus. You must accept this.
I do, but to see her again. Just one more time.
Why do you believe him? You do not know him or who he was. All of this is sinister.
He wants to see someone he loved again. I understand how that feels. I don't think there's anything sinister about it.
Here we get to see the contrast between how the two characters handle the act of grieving. Kratos knows all too well the weight of death, and his method of grieving is more of an internal one. Atreus, on the other hand, voices his feelings and is still concerned for his mother's safety, even in death. Eventually, the two come to a bit of an emotional compromise. Atreus wishes to tell his mother about their journey in the incredible sights they've seen, like speaking to the World Serpent and going to other realms. Kratos is touched by this and begins to have Atreus speak more on the subject as a means to connect with him more and to express that he himself does grieve, just differently.
What have you left unsaid?
I guess... I just want to know if she's okay.
What else would you say to her?
I tell her that we're both okay. Not to worry about us.
Atreus, I miss her too. You know this.
Once all the bones are gathered, the wife does in fact revive, but she becomes one of those witch enemies that we've had to deal with several times up until this point in the story. After the fight, Atreus admits he was wrong, and Kratos once again uses their experience to teach another life lesson.
Alright, say it. I told you so.
I told you so.
You are naive, foolish boy.
This is true as well. But do not take your disappointment out on me, boy. Take it as a lesson.
Yes, sir.
Lastly, I'm going to go through a multi-part quest made up of the Fafnir's Hoard, Family Business, and Time Heals All quests. All three of these quests revolve around a rare whetstone that Sindri asks Kratos and Atreus to find. During the final stages of the Fafnir's Hoard quest, we learned from a spirit in the storeroom that the whetstone was there, but his son stabbed him in the back, took the stone, and stole his crew. The resulting narrative is what I really want to focus on while talking about these three quests.
Have you seen it?
Aye, there was one in this room. My son sharpened his dagger on it, right before stabbing me in the back.
What?
Little bastard thought it was his turn to lead my crew. I was hard on him, sure. Guess I shouldn't be surprised. I did the same thing to my dad when I was his age.
He killed his own father?
Where is he now?
Ha! He may be a bastard, but he's my bastard. You'll get no help from me, fool.
Then his dagger will help.
Hey! That's mine! Hey!
Come, boy. We are leaving.
Sindri uses the dagger that we got from the spirit's corpse and locates another potential spot where the whetstone could be. This starts the Family Business quest. While making the second journey to the whetstone, we get to hear a bit of Atreus' thoughts of Kratos as a father. He voices his grievances about Kratos' parenting style, but also reassures Kratos of his loyalty. Betraying Kratos is something that he could never fathom doing, and it lets us know exactly how much he respects Kratos, even if he gets mad at him sometimes.
I still can't believe a son would kill his own father. That's crazy, right? I know, we only got one side of the story. But come on! His own father? I mean, I get angry at you sometimes, but...
Do you?
I mean, sometimes, yeah. A little. But I'd never stab you in the back.
No. When are you angry?
What?
With me. When?
Oh, I guess sometimes when you don't think I can do something, but I can.
It is not always easy to know
It's
one.
okay. I get it. I'm little. Where's that whetstone, I wonder?
We make our way down to an abandoned ship where we finally find the whetstone. As it turns out, the son of the spirit we met in Fafnir's storeroom was also betrayed by his crew and died during the revolt. After commending the son's warrior-like death, we beat up on some more enemies and take the whetstone back to Sindri.
We found your whetstone.
Oh, wonderful! This staining is unusual.
The Reavers used it to smash another Reaver's face in.
Oh, wonderful.
At some point, Atreus suggests that we go back to the spirit in the storeroom to give him the news about his son's fate. We've now triggered the Time Heals All quest. All we have to do is go talk to the spirit, and so we do just that. The spirit, even if reluctantly, finds peace in knowing that his son not only went out admirably, but that he may be able to meet with him again in Valhalla.
How'd he go out? He die fighting?
We found 4 corpses near his. They were decapitated.
Ha! Vandrid always did keep his sword nice and sharp. A lesson he picked up from me. He's a backstabbing bastard, but knowing he's in Valhalla sets me at ease. Thanks.
We did a good thing. I'm glad we came back here.
That thief did not deserve the peace you gave him.
Maybe so. Still, it feels good to help people. Even the dead ones.
So much like your mother.
And that's it for my breakdown of the quests in 2018's God of War. Overall, going through these little side adventures was a real treat. Even beyond the few that I covered today, I was always interested to hear all of the different conversations Kratos and Atreus would have. That's really the point. These quests never had anything more innovative puzzle-wise or more difficult in terms of combat than the main story. The rewards may be useful depending on where you are in the story, but really, it's the character moments we get that are the driving factor here. Quest design isn't just about completing the objective, it's about the player actively wanting to help because they connected with the scenario somehow. I wanted to help that spirit stick it to Thor one last time. I wanted to believe that Atreus may get to see his mother again, even if only for a second. I wanted to see how Kratos and Atreus would react to a father and son quarrel that isn't too different from their own situation. The main story is great, but it has a different job. As the director of the game once said, this is a story about Kratos teaching Atreus how to be a god, and Atreus teaching Kratos how to be human. Think of the favors as extra chapters that complement that story. Are they optional? Sure, but if you start that journey, you surely won't want it to stop until it's over. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
The truth. The truth. I'm a god, boy. From another land far from here. When I came to these shores, I chose to live as a man. But the truth is, I was born a god. And so were you.